Welcome back, everyone. So let's continue. Just a quick reminder that this is the second last Korok video. The next one, we're gonna collect the rest. We'll be all done with the Koroks. And then we can finally actually play the game again. You guys don't realize how long it's been since I actually played the game, since I actually opened the game and actually played it. Okay, so before I continue with the rest of the school material, which by the way is the final material, the last of it, well, I'm not gonna lie, I failed you guys. Well, I mostly more so failed myself. So, I just want to remind you guys that while I am reading all of this school material out loud, I only took one class. Just a quick reminder that I only took one class. There is this entire program in school, and I only took the one class for now. I figured, well, while I am failing horribly to find a job, in the meantime, let me just do something in school so I'm not wasting time. Learn something. And, I don't even know if I'm going to take the rest of this program or not. Like I said, there's only, or not only, there are like 10 courses in this program, and I only took one. I took one. And I don't know if I'm going to do the rest or what I'm going to do after this. I also want to mention to you guys that the final exam is in like 2 days from now. I'm recording this on the 18th of April, and my final exam is on the 21st. So yeah. So how did I fail you guys? Well, you would think that one class would be easy to manage, to maintain, right? Well, in case you didn't realize when I mentioned it before, there were a good number of assignments that I have been late to hand in. I'll be honest, it's really mostly just me being lazy. You know, every time I open the school material, it's like, oh, I don't want to do this. So I just kept on putting it off and off and off until now, it's too late. Well, kinda too late. I did double check. So, handing in assignments late does have like a 10% deduction, which like at this point I don't really care. At this point I'd rather just hand it in and for it to just be done. I don't care what grade I get at this point. I really just care that I handed it in and just be done with it. You know, cross my fingers that the teacher, the professor didn't notice the date handed in, which I doubt that would be the case. But how did I fail you guys? Well, so I had 3 assignments. By the way, when I say assignments, these things are easy and quick, so it just adds more to the insult of, you know, me not doing them, because they're easy and they're quick. So anyways, there were 3 I had yet to hand in. But I did do one of them yesterday. Today, I said to myself, I'm going to do the rest. There's 2 more. It's quick. It's simple. Just get it done. And just move on. Get ready for the exam in days. And would you believe I brushed it off the entire day? So, just before recording this, I looked into it. Okay, let's just get it done. No more dilly-dallying. No more wasting time. Let's just get it done. I looked into it, and I'm just like, what do I even do? It says read. So it says read something. It said read the modules, or like, you know, the PowerPoint slideshows, the presentations that I have been reading. It says read, you know, the ones that I've been reading, and then it says complete exercises A and C for assignment 5. But then assignment 6 says complete exercise D. And I'm just like, where are the exercises? Where are the questions that I gotta do? I looked through all the slides. I'm like, where is it? What do I even do? What are the questions I need to answer? I can't find it. So I looked through the rest of the school page. If there's like an online textbook I need to read, I couldn't find anything. So I had to do the unthinkable, the thing that pretty much exposes me for being late to hand this in. You know, if the professor didn't realize that I didn't hand it in yet, well, he's going to realize now. Because I can't for the life of me find where I need to answer, or what I need to answer, like where the questions are. So I had to message the professor and ask, I don't know what to do. I cannot find it. I cannot find the things to answer. So yeah, the professor is going to know 100% that I did not do this yet, that I am late to handing it in. But like I said, at this point, I don't really care. Just let me do it, deduct whatever grades, and then just move on. I don't care. But yeah, I failed you guys, and I failed myself. My hubris got in the way. Or not even hubris, my pride, my ego, my laziness. So yeah, I had to embarrassingly ask the professor, like almost a week after the due date, by the way. It was due, I believe, on the 12th, and today's the 18th, so oops. At that point, oops doesn't even cut it anymore. But, yeah, hopefully, I'm hoping the professor just messages me, you find the questions here. It's like, and don't even, I'm hoping the professor doesn't mention anything like, you are super late to handing this in, by the way. It's like, yes, I know. So yeah, I had to out myself, I had to expose myself for being late to hand in the assignment. But, like, you know what? I'm gonna look at the positives here. Given the situation I put myself in, I'm gonna look at the positives. Better have it done, handed in late, and have some sort of grade deduction than not doing it at all and getting a 0. Right? Even if I get a 1, it's better than nothing. I know that's hard cope, but like... I mean, like I said, I don't know if I'm going to take any more courses in this program. So like, even if I fail this course, who cares, right? But I'm thinking, if I do decide to take more, and God forbid I do fail this course, because I just handed in too many assignments late, then like... well, then I gotta waste money, waste time, and take the course again to graduate if I decide to take the remaining 9 courses. So, aside from that being a waste of time and money, it's like, fine, if I have to, I'll do it. It's not the first time I had to retake classes in college because I failed them. Ugh. But then it's like, damn, why am I even feeling embarrassed? I never even saw... I've never even seen the professor's face in person. I don't know who this person is, what he or she looks like. I'm assuming it's a he, based on the name. And besides, even if I take this class again in the future, I doubt the professor will remember my name. You know how many students professors in colleges and universities have? Unless the student immediately takes the class again, they probably won't recognize the name. So if I take this class again, I don't know, a year from now, hypothetically, I doubt the professor would remember me, as he keeps a keen eye on me like, you failed me before, I'm gonna keep my eye on you. You know, when I was in college, I had a professor, she was like the head of the department, and she didn't care if students passed or failed or not, because she said it herself, she gets paid regardless. Once the semester's over, she's going to Cuba. So yeah, I had to embarrass myself, expose myself for being late to the assignment. But at this point, like I said, it's like, I don't care anymore. Just tell me, just point me to where I need to go so I can get it done, regardless of what grade I get as a result. But yeah, damn, I rambled for 10 minutes already. Let's get going. So last time I stopped at, I believe, slide 48. I believe so. Okay, so continuing slide 49 out of 66, so we're almost there. Okay, so continuing on. Make sure the jets are submerged before testing. Operation. Whirlpool baths should be filled to at least 1 to 3 inches above the jets with a mix of hot and cold water. Bracket, some people recommend not using straight hot water because of possible decoloration of the acrylic. The sump should not be operated if all the jets are not submerged. The jets should be at least partly open when the pump is turned on. It's very hard on the pump if all the jets are closed. A timer device is usually the activation system for a pump. Home inspectors should understand that when they operate the pump, they are going beyond a standard home inspection. Many home inspectors do this. I should also mention that last night I wasn't able to record this because my friends wanted to come over. We ended up watching Project Hail Mary, but I do want to rewatch the film so I can pick up all the details since, you know, my friends and I, we were talking while the film was playing. Okay, so, conditions. Same as the usual ones. Leaks. Pump doesn't work. Excess pump noise or vibration. Dirty water from the jets. Odor. Cross connections. Jets inoperative. Most of these conditions were previously discussed. More conditions. Diverter inoperative. Suction cover missing. Not level. No pump access. No GFCI. Electric switch too close to tub. Surface defects. Continued from previous page. Make note of looking for access covers and GFCI. Okay, so let's go over said conditions. Pump doesn't run. Causes. No power. Seized or burned out motor. Implications. Tub no longer acts as a whirlpool. Strategy. Fill tub up. Initiate time. Check for a separate disconnect switch or a tripped GFCI. I almost want to say CGI. Okay. Excessive pump noise. Causes. Bad bearings, foreign material, poorly secured pump. Implications. Premature failure or leakage. Strategy. Listen for excessive noise or vibration during operating test. Dirty water from jets or odor. Causes. Dirty circulating pipes. More common when tub has been idle for some time. Implication. Not sanitary. Strategy. Recommend cleaning. Jet inoperative. Causes. Seized jets. Implication. Damage to pump. Strategy. Recommend servicing. No pump access. Causes. Installation issue. Implication. Damage to interior finishes when pump service is required. Strategy. Check for access. Report the condition. The pump is in the black thing behind the switch. Here's a picture. Whirlpool conditions. No GFCI. Causes. Implication issue. Did I say implication issue? Causes. Installation issue. Implication. Electrocution risk is increased. Strategy. Check panel and washroom for GFCI. Recommend one be added. I don't think the slide has even gone over what GFCI is. Alright, here's a picture. Note where the jets and the air inlet adjusters are bubbling. Wait, what? Note where the jets and the air inlet adjusters for bubbling. Another picture. Another whirlpool tub, which is not freestanding. Whirlpool bath inspection procedure. What first? Double question mark. Then, question mark. When to turn it on? Where's the switch? Check for leaks. Check water quality. GFCI test? Reset. Drain it. Weird sort of punctuations there. And then, wow, we're already done. Pretty much. But this is the part where I was wondering, are these the questions or are these the things that I need to answer for the assignments? Because like I said, the assignments say complete exercise A and C. That was assignment 5. Assignment 6 said complete exercise D. So I looked through the slides. I saw these. So this is slide 63. Inspection procedure. A. Visualization. Visual inspection. Outdoors, indoors. B. Operating test. And my voice just cracked there. Anyway, so visual inspection. A. Outdoors. 1. Locate and inspect any hose bibs. 2. Check for above grade service entry piping, meter, shutoff valves in warmer climates. Identify and check their condition. 3. Locate and inspect plumbing vents. 4. Check for a well or pump house, bracket beyond standards. 5. Locate and check condition of the septic tank, bracket beyond standards, only if this is part of your service. Okay. B. Indoors. 1. Locate and inspect water service piping. 2. Locate and inspect main shutoff valve. Look for pressure regulator. 3. If house is on private water, locate and inspect pump and or pressure tank. 4. Identify and inspect supply piping material. 5. Locate, identify, and inspect the water heater. Alright. Visual inspection. B. Indoors. Oh, wait, this is just a continuation. 6. Identify and inspect visible DWV materials. 7. Look for and inspect any sewage ejector pumps, sump pumps, or laundry tub pumps. 8. Check condition of plumbing fixtures and traps. 9. Check for an air gap or backflow prevention device at each supply pipe device. 10. Inspect enclosures around bathtubs and shower stalls. 11. Don't forget to look for a floor drain on the lowest level. Check its condition. And there you go. That's all 66 slides. Now, when I was looking for what to answer on my assignment, I found these slides at the very end. But it doesn't match up with what the assignment is telling me to do. The first assignment I had yet to do said complete exercise A and C. And I was thinking, maybe the professor did a typo, maybe it was supposed to be A and B. But, like I said here, this stuff has A, outdoors, and B, indoors. So maybe the first assignment was a mistake. Or at least the wording of it. Maybe it really was meant to be A and B. But then, the next assignment said complete exercise D. There is no D here. There's not even a C. So I don't understand where I'm supposed to look. I thought these were the things I was supposed to search for an answer. But then it said questions A, C, and D, but I only see A and B here. So I don't get it. Ugh. Yeah, I don't understand. But, yeah, there you go. We just went through all of the school's material, or at least all of the class materials for this course. Give me a second. Let me just check something real quick. Okay, I'm back. So, now that, I also brought water since I didn't bring myself water beforehand. So, now that I'm done talking about school, and I got nothing else to talk about, let me tell you guys a little story of something that happened recently. Let me tell you. Okay, first of all of my fellow brothers in Christ out there, I sincerely hope that none of you out there, my brothers in Christ, I sincerely hope with all my heart that none of you find a woman like my sister. So let me tell you what my sister how my sister has been acting lately. And let me just tell you how my sister ain't shit. Okay, so it all started a couple days ago. My sister's husband got sick. I should also mention, too, that the two of them, my sister and her husband, they have a place together. They have a condo together. So they have a separate place to live together outside of, here, home with the parents. They have a separate place all to themselves. Keep that in mind. Okay. So, my sister's husband, he got sick a couple days ago, to the point that I think at least for one day, couldn't make it to work. He had to take a sick day. So he was staying at the condo, sick. And you would think, as a spouse, as a wife, wouldn't you expect that a spouse, a wife, would be by her husband's side while he's sick? Well, you'd be wrong in thinking that. Because that day, when my sister's husband was, I don't know, on death's door at the condo, my sister, not only did she not come to work that day, she also didn't go and visit him at the condo for majority of the day. Instead, she was at home doing her stuff, gonna wash her hair. It wasn't until, I don't know, maybe dinner time that she even got off her ass to go and see if he was basically alive. And also, she actually, because I was with my mom at work, where she wasn't, she called mom and asked her to prepare food for him and then to bring it to him. Let me tell you that again. My sister, whose husband is sick, couldn't go to work, recovering alone at the condo. My sister, having the same day off, not going to work herself, instead of being at the condo and being by her sick husband's side, caring for him, watching over him. No, she's just at home doing her own stuff. And then to the point she called mom and asked her to make him food and even bring it to him. My sister went to the condo like late afternoon to pretty much see how he is, see if he was still breathing. And kind of pretty much like she was there when we delivered the food that we made for him. She basically just brought it up to him, and then she came back home for dinner. What a spouse. What a wife, huh? Wow, that's totally wife material any guy dreams of. But that's not all, folks. At nighttime, my parents and my sister, they watched their shows together. They watched their Chinese dramas, their Korean dramas, whatever. That stuff doesn't interest me. So, I sit in here gaming and talking to myself. I don't partake in their family shenanigans, you know? So, damn near every night, they are together. Aside from the nights my dad is with his friends in the basement. So that night, my dad was like, "Hey, isn't your husband sick? Shouldn't you be there? Shouldn't you be over there with him?" My sister said, "No, because what if I get sick too?" And then according to my parents, she also said, I'm not here for TV. I'm not here for you, mom or dad. I'm here for the dog." Oh my god. Like, my sister is a terrible wife. A terrible person. Yo, so I vented all this to my friends, how, like, my sister, she ain't shit. And my friends were all like, "Don't you guys tell her this? Don't you guys, like, scold her, try to teach her and guide her in the right ways?" And I pretty much told them, yo, my parents and we all know that it's just a waste of time to even try telling her this. Because we've tried. We tried telling her, you can't act this way. But my parents and we all have come to learn, like, trying to change her ways is just a waste of time and effort. We don't even bother anymore. She's just set in her ways, and there's no changing that. My friends were like, "You and your family, you're too kind." I guess so, you know. We are a victim of our own success. So, anyways, and I pretty much told my friends, at this point, we are basically just waiting for her and watching her FAFO, you know? At this point, we're just waiting and watching her fuck around and find out. Cause, let me, my friend questioned, what's the find out part? Let me explain to you what the find out part is. Let me put it this way. I cannot separate from my sister, you know? I can't distance myself from her. I'm stuck with her for life. I don't have the option to separate from her. But her husband doesn't have that. Her husband has the option to separate. I'm not saying he will. I'm not saying he wants to. I'm not saying anything like that. But what I am saying is, let's see how much of her shit he can take. Like, oh my god, spending the rest of your life with her. I've spent my entire life with her, and I am fed up. I'm sick of it, but I got no choice. He, on the other hand, does. So, at this point, we don't want this, obviously. We don't want this outcome. We want everyone to succeed and be happy. Like, we're not wishing for their downfall. We're not wishing for their separation. You know what I mean? We want them to be together and happy. But the current trajectory, it's like, well, we're just going to sit back and watch. You won't listen to anything we say. We're just going to take a back seat and we're just going to observe. Like, and I've explained how my sister ain't shit before. You know, and I've said this before too. Her husband, you know, he works hard. He wakes up early in the morning. He goes to work. He works hard, earning that bread, to which then she wastes all the money that he earns. So yeah, like, he works hard. He comes over for dinner quite frequently. Oh, I should also mention this too. The fact that my sister can't cook. And he can't cook either. Neither of them know how to cook. So I also had to explain to my friends, like, yo, this guy, her husband, kind of basically just mooches off of us, at least in terms of food. Because he comes over quite often for dinner. Because, so basically, pretty much ever since my sister married, we have had an extra mouth to feed. And we don't only have to make one extra serving. No, we have to make like 2. Why? Because we pack his lunch for the next day as well. So not only do we have an extra mouth to feed for dinner, we also have to make extra so where he can pack it for lunch the next day. Because his wife cannot cook. And like I said earlier, his wife can't cook for him while he's sick in bed. The wife called up her mother to cook for her husband and then deliver the food to said husband. Little bit of backstory. So the reason I think the reason he always comes over for dinner, not only is it because it's convenient, but also because I think he likes our cooking, because it's home cooked. His parents can't cook either. His grandma can cook, but like, you know, his parents can't cook either. So I imagine, oh man, I can only imagine. I imagine that his parents wanted him to find a wife who can cook, and then he settled with my sister of all people. Hey, at least he got a mother-in-law who can cook for him. But anyways, yeah, as I was saying, so, yeah, he works hard, you know. He wakes up early, goes to work, and he works hard to earn that money to pay for her stinking ass. So, whenever he does come over for dinner, he likes to relax, he likes to have a beer with his meal. Me personally, I don't drink beer, it tastes like shit to me, but that's besides the point. You know, to each his own, I suppose. So he likes to drink a beer with his meal. And, so a little bit of context for my household. We have a fridge in the basement. I know that sounds ridiculous. Why do you need a fridge in the basement when you have a fridge in the kitchen? Well, my dad's a little bit impulsive, you know. When he has an idea in his mind, he goes through with it. No matter what you tell him, no matter what reasoning you give to him, he'll just do his own thing. He's always set in his ways. So, the moment he deemed there was not enough fridge space, he thought to himself, I'm gonna buy another fridge. And thus, we now have we've had a fridge in the basement for quite a while now. Yeah, my house has 2 fridges. Yeah, like I said, my dad, he's impulsive. The moment he had the idea, we don't have enough fridge space. Let's buy another fridge. We got another fridge almost immediately. So, yeah, a little bit of context there. So, the fridge in my basement has the beer. The fridge in the kitchen doesn't have the beer. Not for any reason, it's mostly just It's mostly because, well, everyone's just lazy to move it up. Because nobody drinks the beer. So it's like, we're not going to put it in the kitchen fridge. So, the fridge in the basement is the fridge that has the beer. Whenever my sister's husband comes over for dinner, at least for most of the time, he wants to have a beer with his meal. He asks his wife, my sister, can you go to the basement and grab me a beer, please? And she's just like, no, you can grab it yourself.
Barbosa's fury is ready.
And he does. If he really wants that beer, he'll grab it himself. What a wife, am I right? My sister has this mentality towards him and towards everyone too. It's like pretty much if you want something or if you want something done, then do it. Do it yourself. Do it. I mentioned this before. I hate it when my sister tells me this. Whenever I ask her to do something or whenever I tell her something needs to be done, she's just like, well, then do it. Then do it. I hate it when my sister does that. I want to bitch slap her so badly. But, yeah, it's like, you know, he wakes up early, he works hard. All he asks is you grab him a beer and you just tell him, do it yourself. I'm not doing that for you. What a wife, am I right? You know, sometimes I feel so bad for the guy, I go down and grab a beer for him. It's like, man, I know damn well my sister's not going to do this. Man, let me just do it for you. Let me do you a favor. You know, bro to bro. I understand, you know, working hard, wanting a drink. Let me do it for you, because I know her skank ass ain't doing it. You know what I've witnessed before, too? So, in an Asian household, dessert just isn't a thing. You know, ice cream, fudge, sundae, cake for dessert, unheard of. Not in an Asian household, fruit is dessert. Apples, pears, oranges, that's your dessert, and you gonna enjoy it. So, like I said, we have a fridge in the basement, and we also put fruits in there sometimes. My mom, after dinner, I witnessed this once. My mom asked my sister to go to the basement and grab the fruit. I think you can guess what she did. And you'd be right if you guessed this. She asked her husband to do it. I sat back and I watched. Because my mom then turned to me and asked me, and I'm just like, no, I'm watching this. I am observing what she will do. Because you asked her first. I'm watching. Will she do it? Or won't she? Anyway, so my friends asked me, like, how long have they been together before they got married? And to my knowledge, I think it was a year before they got married, or a year or two. Which isn't that long, but like, one, you know, the big dreaded 3 is coming up for them. You know, the big 3-0. That's coming up. So, you know, by that age, marriage is kind of desperate, I suppose. And 2, well, at least it was better than my parents. My parents married after 6 months. And look at this. 30 years later, my sister and I popped out. Or within 30 years later, my sister and I popped out. Hey, at least it was better than my parents. 6 months and then married. You know, I mentioned this before. I don't want this kind of romance story in my life, but, yeah, it doesn't seem like I'm heading towards anything but that. You know? If I were to marry someone, I would want it to be like a long relationship where the two of us are positive. Yes, we are each other's soulmates. This is meant to be. We've been together for years and years. It just makes sense. You know, that's what I want. I don't want their story where it's like 6 months or a year and it's like, oh, we're getting up there in age. You want to just get married? Aight, sure. It's like, that's not the story I want. I want a story where it's like we've been together for so long, it's only natural. You know, it was just meant to be. Yeah, let's face it, someone like me doesn't deserve that kind of story and just won't get that story. Anyways, that's besides the point. Uh, so yeah, my friends asked how long they've been together before they wedded, and my friends also asked me, how does she treat him? You know? Aside from her attitude, how does she treat him? So I basically told my friends, you know how most guys just want to be treated like with basic human kindness? So I don't know what goes on behind the scenes. I don't know how they treat each other when we are not around, when I'm not around. But from what I have witnessed with my own peepers, she doesn't treat him that great. You know, no physical hitting or anything, none of that. But like, well, it's that kind of like, I guess there's no easy way to say it. It's that kind of like insulting in a joking, you know, haha, fun kind of way. That it's like, you know, doesn't sound like basic human kindness to me. And it's also, let me tell you folks, the moment I'm with a girl and she treats me like that, yo, that's red flags immediately. I'm not gonna lie, that's how I've been treated my entire life, with that kind of like joking insults on top of actual insults. So it's like, will I ever find a woman who actually treats me with genuine human kindness? Probably not. Sadly, probably not. So, the way I've seen my sister treat her husband, it's like whenever he does small things or he does things, she's just like, you stupid man, you stupid, stupid man. It's like, she'll make this angry face at him, whatnot. I don't know, me personally, I would never treat my woman like that. I would never, if she makes a small mistake or if she jokingly does something or whatever, I would never treat her like, you stupid woman. You stupid, worthless woman. I would never do that. You know? And let me tell you, if I had a wife and she was sick, I would stay by her side the whole time and I would make sure she is as comfortable as possible. I would tend to her, get her whatever she needs, do whatever she needs. Like, I thought that's kind of what marriage and being a spouse was about. What happened to death do us part? I guess that's meaningless nowadays. But yeah, it's like, I don't know, the way she treats him, I would never treat my significant other. If I had one. Anyways, like I said, I don't know why this fool chose her of all people. Man, I joke with my parents about this all the time. Like, damn, ain't he a lucky son of a bitch, right? Marrying her of all people, because like, nobody knows her better than we do. Better than her brother, better than her parents. Nobody knows how she is better than we do. And we joke all the time like, wow, you poor, lucky man. Anyways, yeah, like I said, my parents and I, we're fed up with her shit already, but we're kind of stuck with her. So now we're just waiting and watching. Let's see how long he can take her shit for. Let me think, is there any other details I missed? Oh, I should also mention that, you know, the whole thing about how they have a separate condo together that they live at. She doesn't always stay there. In fact, far from it. She's not really often there. Wouldn't you... Let me ask you guys this. Wouldn't you expect... If a married couple already have a condo together, wouldn't you expect the two of them would move out and live there all the time? Wouldn't you just think that'd be the case? Well, in my case, no. No, actually not, because my sister, she doesn't really go to the condo that often. She goes and spends the night there probably like 2 times a week. Most of the time, she's here at home, like I said, watching TV with our parents, and she's really just home for the dog. So, majority of the time, no, she's not at the condo with her husband, but in fact, she's here at home. So, my friends even question, why even have a condo? What's the point? And I'm just like, I got no response to that. Hey, he spends majority of the time there without his wife. You know, he spends majority of the time there. When I said my sister spends like maybe 2 nights a week there, I think he's the opposite. He probably spends like 5 nights a week there. And then the other times he just goes home, as in like his parents' place. Maybe. I'm not too sure. Yeah, my sister ain't shit. Yeah, I can't stand her. But what choice do I have, right? I can't distance myself from her. I can't get away from her. And, well, I can't fix her. We cannot fix her. My friends were saying, yo, if I were in your position, I'd be more stern. I would give her a piece of my mind. Like, I would ensure that she knows how I feel, and I will fix her. Like, that's what my friends were saying. And to that, I just told my friends, you guys have not seen Lost Cause like I have. Anyways, my sister ain't shit. I can't stand her ass. But what choice do I have? But yeah, like I said, the the way that she treats him, I would never treat... I would never treat my partner like that. You know, if I had a wife and she wanted me to grab something, I'd go do it. I go grab it. You know, I don't tell her, do it yourself. I don't tell her, if you want something done, then just do it yourself. Don't ask me to do it. I won't say stuff like that. You know, like I said earlier, if she's bedridden and sick, then I stay by her side and I take care of her. Like, damn, and I'm the one who's single. I'm the one who's not married here. Damn, can you believe that I have this mentality? I would treat her like a queen. I would treat her with respect. And yet, I'm the undesirable one? I could almost shed a tear. But yeah, it's like, the things she says, the way she acts, how she treats him, I would never do that. Anyways, yeah, I don't know why this fool married her of all people. Maybe he's a masochist at heart. He loves this kind of torture. I'm not gonna lie, I feel so sorry for him. Maybe he married her for our mother's cooking. Because God knows that she can't. You know, actually, my mom and my sister, not really my dad, but I'm sure he appreciates it too. Because I'm the child in the family who ended up taking up cooking, or at least enjoys cooking. So damn near every night I help my mom cook dinner, right? She will every now and then buy chicken wings, marinate it with a dry rub, and then she'll ask me to cook it. Now this is back in the day, but beforehand we would, grill it in a pan over the stove. But that was before air fryers. So a lot of the times when it comes to proteins, I'll take care of that, Oh, by the way, look at this. I know this Korok in particular is a pain in the ass that I need the Master Sword for. Or preferably, I would use the Master Sword for. So I'm going to recharge it right now. You'll see what I mean. Just watch how long this Korok takes me. So when it comes to cooking the proteins at home, so like marinating the pork, cooking the steak, cooking the salmon fillet, cooking the chicken wings, I take care of that. So, stuff like cooking steak, I'll be honest, I don't even use a thermometer to check the temperature of my steaks. I just eyeball it, I just eyeball it. I eyeball like how hot my stovetop can get. I eyeball how long I cook it on each side, and then I eyeball how long to rest it. Stuff like, did I cook it for longer on the pan? So it's like, do I not need to put it in the oven to rest, but instead just leave it out? Or if it's a thicker cut, yes, I rest it in the oven with the heat turned on. Or stuff like, if it's a thinner cut, I also eyeball how thick the cut of steak is, and that'll determine how long I cook it for, how long I rest it. Stuff like that. So it's like, whenever I cook steak, I just eyeball it, And even, would you believe, even when I try to cook it a little bit more like a medium well, I still end up with medium rare. It's like, damn, I thought I even cooked it for longer this time too. Anyways, that's besides the point. So, every now and then my mom would buy chicken wings and dry rub it, or rather marinate it with the dry rub. I cook it. And instead of using the old ways of cooking it in a pan, I use the air fryer. What I'm trying to say is, my family really likes the way I cook, because they say, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, they say I cook it to perfection, perfect doneness, perfect consistency. My family was saying the way I cook my chicken wings in the air fryer, they're just like, you've mastered, son or brother, you've mastered using the air fryer to cook these perfectly. The temperature, the time. When in all honesty, it's not a big deal, it's a goddamn air fryer. But like, my mom is saying, you cook for me. One day when I'm an old elderly woman, you cook for me. I cook for you your entire life. I'm glad to know that now that you're older, one day when I'm an old woman, you can cook for me, son. And your father too. And your sister, because you know damn well she's never moving out. Because she don't know how to cook, and you can cook. And that's kind of my sister's mentality too. She ain't never moving out because she don't know how to cook. She don't know how to survive without us. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, if she was left to herself, she would not know how to cook. So she doesn't know how to cook. Her husband doesn't know how to cook. Like I said, his parents don't know how to cook. My sister's husband, he basically grew up on takeout. It's either takeout or his grandmother's cooking. So I don't think these two are going anywhere anytime soon, because not only can my mom cook for them, I can cook for them, and well, they're never leaving my side. I gotta deal with her shit, indefinitely, by the sounds of it. It's not even for the foreseeable future, indefinitely. You know, the two of them are trying to conceive. They're trying to have a kid, and my sister just flat out said, and I don't think she was joking. I know she's not joking, because I know how she is. She's just like, the moment I get pregnant, I'm not working anymore. Not working anymore. I am staying home the entire pregnancy. Well, that's nice. By the sounds of it, that's gonna be like 2 years of her not working, not earning any income? Great. That's nice to hear. That's reassuring. It's like, what maternity leave? You already left. And then after the kid is here, the recovery period and the initial raising of the kid, it's like, wow, she ain't gonna show up for quite a while. So let's think about that scenario for a moment. If my sister does get pregnant, she's not gonna work for a minimum 2 years. If she's unless she's serious about actually retiring after the kid, like just being a stay-at-home mom. So she will rely solely on her husband's income, and for you know, his mother-in-law, so my mom, to feed him and the kid. Fuck my life. So let me paint a clearer picture. Let's say my sister has a kid. My sister's not working. Grandma feeds the kid. I feed the kid. It's like, huh? I'm trying to say I'm sick of my sister's shit. You know, I am so sick of her, but I got no choice but to just put up with her. And, you know, my mom even has the nerve to tell me, you know, go easy on your sister, you know, don't piss her off that much, considering, you know, that she has some minor health issues. Nothing too serious, but, like, not 100% a picture of health. She's healthy in, like, the sense of an everyday living person, but, like, you know, minor health issues that aren't too concerning. So it's like, not piss her off, just let her be. Mother, you've seen the way she is. Like, no. I am not just gonna take her shit just because of, you know, she's quote-unquote having a rough time. I have rough times too, but you don't see her treat me nicely. I sincerely hope I never find a woman like her. And, well, I may be desperate, but I ain't that desperate. The moment I see even a hint of these red flags that I see resemble those I see from my sister, it's like, oh hell no, like, goodbye. I can't put up with 2 of you in my life. But yeah, it's like, I may be desperate, I ain't that desperate. Man, you know what kind of woman I would like to have in my life? But let's face it, won't ever happen. Because, well, you gotta keep in mind the type of person I am, you know, the undesirable type. The type of woman I would like to have, ideally. First of all, top priority is smarts, you know? I'm a dumbass who knows nothing, can't do anything right, so I need a smart, competent woman in my life. That's priority number 1. You know, obviously a beautiful woman would be very much would be nice, you know, everyone wants someone beautiful. But like, how hard is it to find someone who just treats me with basic human kindness, you know? Like, why is that so hard to find? Maybe someone who would extend the same courtesy I mentioned I would extend. Like, you know, stick by my side. You know, tend to me whenever I'm bedridden and sick. You know something I would like? Not even just a woman, but like anyone, even a friend, anyone. I mentioned before how, you know, I'm seen by the world as always wrong. Can't do anything right. Everything you touch, you mess up. You can't do anything right. Any argument, any idea, any opinion you have, wrong. Always wrong. It's like, damn, can I ever find someone who takes my side? Understands my arguments? Actually sides with me? Defends me? Can I ever find someone like that? Probably not, because the world, well, I keep on going on about, like, the world is against me, but no, it's like, well, I've been conditioned to believe, well, I'm the problem. You know, if the entire world doesn't agree with me, if the entire world is telling me I'm wrong, then it seems like I'm the common denominator, you know? I'm the issue. Why do you think I'm undesirable by anyone? But yeah, my sister is? Anyways, you can see here I'm trying to grab this rock, but these douchebags are just too annoying with their bomb arrows. So I decided, I'm gonna take you guys out. Wow, thanks for blowing yourself up there. Anyways, we're about to wrap it up here. School is a big mystery going on right now. My sister ain't shit. My life is a mess. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time for the finale. Not to the game, but finale to the Koroks at long last. Alright, thanks for watching. See you next time.